Please hold for Dave Sim, February 2026. This is being recorded. What's today? Today's Thursday, the 5th of February. Excuse me. Hello, Dave. This is from Steve Swenson, old friend of the family. Hello, Dave. Well, too late for Christmas, but just in time for New Year's. He sent this out December 27th, 2025. And here we are, too late for New Year's and too late for Groundhog Day, but almost in time for Valentine's Day. I bought these on eBay. I was going to surprise Margaret with the Hero Sandwich issue, but she already has a copy. Yuck, yuck, yuck. There you go. That's Margaret. It's a challenge before God and man to find any Cerebus thing that Margaret already doesn't already have, or Dave Sim thing that Margaret already doesn't have. Although her spreadsheet shows you have a spot illo inside, which I doubt, and I share your doubts, Steve. I've been through the issue any number of times since it came in, and thank you very much. Um, and no, I've got the illustration on the cover, which was actually formatted for magazine size, but was from my first real productive year, 1976, where I actually got a calendar, and every day that I got work done, I would write in the space for that day, this is what I got done today. And the goal was to not have any blank calendar dates, which by the end of the year, I was doing pretty good. There was at least something that I would have in each one, and actually still pretty happy with the Doctor Strange illustration. Um, I'm also impressed that the Hero Sandwich and the Sim 76 signature came out as well as they did, because I did those in white paint, and it's I'm not much better at white paint than I was in 1976, but back then I didn't know how bad I was, and that this is going to be an absolute nightmare to reproduce. Not only does he reproduce the Hero Sandwich lettering, he gets the fine lines that I did in the bottom of the word sandwich. And boy, I can tell you, I thought at the time, well, okay, it's white paint, just it should come up just fine. And most of the time, it was pale blue paint, which didn't come up just fine. So I am impressed that a fanzine publisher um, was able to pick up that kind of detail way back when. Um, I'm a bit of a Sergio collector and bought several of these con guides. Program book West Coast Comic Con 1986. The eBay seller did not state that there were bug chews, and I think you'll be able to see from the scan in the lower left, uh, about where the staple would be if these were stapled, both the top staple and bottom staple. Sure enough, bug chews. Oh well. The con guide would also be of interest to serious Stan Sakai Usaki Yojimbo fans, because there's a nice early Sakai illustration. And I'll second that emotion. And I put a post-it note here to get Rolly to scan that one as well. And right next to a cutie bunny by Joshua Quagmire. I figured these could be additions to the archive if you didn't already have examples. And very much appreciated, Steve, for the fact that no, I don't have either of these, and I had completely forgotten hero sandwich. So it's always an interesting experience to open up a package and go, oh, this is from 50 years ago. Um, or perhaps unique add-ons for a Kickstarter promotion. Well, they could be that, but not my copies. Maybe you got some other bug chew copies of the West Coast Comic Con '86, which I definitely want it for the archive because it's in the lower left, just next to the bug chews, is a kid with a Cerebus on the back of his T-shirt. Aardvark van Heim Cerebus and a Sergio Aragonés Cerebus. It doesn't get any better than that. So it was one of those things back at that time. Anytime a Sergio giant crowd drawing came in that was at a Comic Con, I would have to pore over it, going, did he remember Cerebus? Did he put Cerebus in? I hope he put Cerebus in, because nothing says fame in 1986 comic book land than Sergio Aragonés drawing your character and your logo somewhere in the middle of one of his crowd scenes. Do with them what you will. They're going to be bagged and boarded and put in with publications. Thanks. I somewhere have a copy of Now and Then Times #1 that I've been meaning to send. I simply don't know where I put it. If you're like me, you'll find that you won't find it until you're looking for something else. You won't find the thing that you're looking for, but you'll go, oh, there's the Now and Then Times #1. And for some future Please Hold episode concerning the counterfeit Cerebus #1. Am I correct that you /AV/Denny contacted Overstreet about the counterfeit printing, which resulted in the notice in the yearly price guides? No, you're not correct in that. It was enough of a news story, and because of the Comics Buyer's Guide, particularly, which was Comics Weekly newspaper at the time, everybody knew about that. So it was a verified thing that when Cerebus was added to the Overstreet price guide, which did take a while. Obviously, they had to decide, okay, is this a comic book or is this a fanzine? Because we're not doing fanzines, but we do comic books. And one of their criteria would have been, we really only do comic books that are in color. This is in black and white, which is why we would say that this is a fanzine. This isn't a comic book. And that eventually settled itself, but that was one of those things where you just got to be patient. It's they'll either Overstreet will decide that Cerebus is a comic book, or Overstreet will decide that Cerebus is a fanzine, and there'll probably have to be other black and white with color cover comic books that come out that become successful enough that Overstreet has to pay attention to them. And that was really what happened with Cerebus. By the time your first issue is going for $50 or $60 US, which it was inside of a few years, that's one of those, well, okay, fanzines don't usually do that. So maybe we are looking at an actual comic book here. At the time, did you also believe counterfeit #2s were printed? Because the guide mentions that as well. Coupled with the question after that one, have you actually ever seen a copy of #2 which you felt was counterfeit? And coupled with #3, if you have not seen a potential counterfeit #2, please consider contacting whoever does the guide now. After all these decades, ! In parentheses. It's quite likely there's no counterfeit #2s out there. Might as well have that warning removed from future guide printings. And this is going back a ways. Harry Kremer from Now and Then Books um, died 2002, and I remember having the conversation with him at some point, noticing the same line in the price guide that a counterfeit number two is believed to exist. And I said, I don't think that's true. I don't think there ever was a counterfeit number two. And then went on to say there was the same number of ones, twos, threes, fours, and fives. They were all 2,000 copy print run. And Harry said, no, don't you remember that they overprinted number two by whatever quantity it was, and Harry was taking 500 at the time, and whatever the over one run was, Harry agreed to take the overrun. And I don't remember the number. I don't know if Harry even remembered the number when he was relating this to me. This rang absolutely no bells with me at all. It's there was an overrun of number two, and I sold all of them to you. So however much that overrun was, it's like Cerebus number one, there's 2,000. Cerebus number two, there's 2,000 and X. Number three, there's 2,000. Number four, there's 2,000. And number five, there's 2,000. And yeah, that's essentially what he was saying. Which is why I tend not to interfere on those things. Because if I had not had this conversation with Harry and had written to Overstreet and said there are only 2,000 copies of number two, I would be possibly right about the fact that there isn't a counterfeit, and I would be definitely wrong about the fact that there was only only 2,000 copies, according to Harry Kremer. Again, that's Harry's version versus my conscious memory. So that's one of those. This isn't my job. This is the Overstreet price guide is Bob Overstreet's job, or whoever he's delegated the job to. He's got a lot of consultants and contributors to the information. I think the case can be made that no, there are no counterfeit number twos, in the sense that there's definitely a counterfeit number one. But this centers on your observation, Steve. Might as well have that warning removed from future guide printings. It's like, that's not my job, man. So it's at some point, Overstreet may decide to do that. I think it would probably have to be in consultation with Cerebus retailers, retailers who specialize in Cerebus, or at least have a working knowledge of Cerebus, who are going to say, I've seen that notice every year in the Overstreet since the late 1990s or the mid 1990s, and I've never seen a counterfeit Cerebus number two. Dave says he's pretty sure there isn't a counterfeit Cerebus number two. So as a consulting editor on Overstreet, Bob, or whoever it is that's my contact there, I think it's time to take that out. I don't think there's enough evidence that there's a Cerebus number two counterfeit to keep that in there. That could happen in the late 2040s, or it could happen in the late 2060s. That's the wheels grind slowly, but the wheels do grind. I had a few other please hold questions rolling around in my psyche, but they seem to have rolled under the couch or something. I can't recall them now. We are of that age, are we not? Question mark, exclamation mark. Tiny Tim said it best. God bless us, everyone. Thank you, Steve, and I hope we'll hear from you again on Please Hold for Dave Sim.